Started. Now that you know how to import your video into your software and also create a sequence, let's look at how to add titles to your video. So wherever you want your title to be, just move your player to that point and go into your graphics tab. And once you go into your graphics tab, you will have a tab like this, and then all you have to do is click on your text, and you should be able to write your text anywhere in your stuff. I'm going to say, like, please class. And here I think you have a lot of option where you can align and transform. You can have it here in the wherever you want your text to be, and I can pretty much click on this, and I can use this selection tool, and I'll be able to drag anywhere I want. And I also can play around with the opacity of my letters. As you can see, I can either make it completely invisible or make it pop out like this, and I can also change the font. And one of my favorite font is let me see, um, and I can adjust my font size, and I can play around with the title. I can change the color of my title. I can just click on this. I can make it red, or I can pretty much, there is a cool tool here which is called the eyedropper, where I can pretty much click on this, and I can pretty much go with something like this one. um, Now you can see it's, and I can pretty much take my eyedropper and say, um, I want this letter to be something of a shirt color. Or I can click on that, and you can see now it's kind of, that's a cool way for you to play around and see what works for you. And again, it's a lot of other features that you got. You can play with your fill. Stroke is nothing but it gives you the, for instance, I can pretty much give a different stroke. For instance, I want to have a red stroke. For that, I can do that. As you can see, you can make it prominent, or you can make it pop out like that. So that's the thing with the stroke, and you can pretty much do with the shading as well. And again, you can do a lot of things. For instance, I can rotate this, um, whichever way you want. So there's a lot of things that you can play around with the title. And again, depends upon how creative you are. You can pretty much take it, and you can play around with that. Again, if you don't want to do all this kind of stuff, or if you want something like any templates that you can use, there is still options for you to even play around for you. All you have to do is just play around and see what works for you. So, and again, you can increase the size of your title, and you can reduce your duration by moving around at the edges. And also you can add some cool transitions to your title just by right clicking and apply default transitions. It gives you fade in and fade out, so that it kind of looks good. So this is how you add title. All you have to do is go into your graphics tab and pretty much play around with all the tools and see what works for you. And again, there is nothing right or wrong. It all depends upon how you have your flexibility in terms of creating something that stays with your audience. And wish you all the very best in coming up with a great titling sequence.